Bienvenidos a The Huddle Podcast. Yo soy Jorge Horta, su anfitrión, el día de hoy. I'm your host today, and we are at episode 200 on Cinco de Mayo. Thank you for being here today. Special guests, we have Angelica Gonzalez, Mauricio Rapalo, Eddie Guillen, and Joppe Aguirre. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Good,
Happy
good.
birthday.
Thanks,
Hey,
I appreciate it.
Daniels.
The big 4-5, everything's hurting my back, my front, my top, my bottom. There's nothing that ain't hurting right now. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But yeah, no, everything's hurting. I'm 1 year older, and I appreciate you all for being here with me today. I know I seen you and Eddie, Angelica and Eddie here just not that long ago after Fiesta, which Fiesta usually takes about 2 weeks here in San Antonio. And thank you for letting me know you guys were coming out because it was a joy seeing you, even if it was for a split second. Um, but yeah, thank you. And other than that, Mauricio and Hope, I haven't seen you guys since
Yeah, it was lots of
Calvary.
fun. Thanks for.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish it would have been better weather though.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been raining too much over here. I don't know about you, but over here in Texas, over here where I'm at, it's raining a lot. Mauricio, you're probably getting a lot of that rain too, maybe in Houston.
Yeah, a lot of humidity right now.
Yep. So I don't know how that is when you're working with certain floors, but it does affect some people, the humidity. But yeah, other than that, guys, I appreciate you for being here. Today's episode is leadership, cultura, craftsmanship. Y gracias por estar conmigo el día de hoy. I want to get your take on coverings because that's where we all pretty much vibed at this year, 2026, and some of you are rock stars here. We got some awards that were won by some of you, which I didn't know what that meant. Rock stars in the tile industry until I went to coverings and I got to meet all you rock stars, and I appreciate you and thank you for being here. So for
Yeah, thanks
today,
for having us.
I kind of want to ask you guys how do you feel about coverings? I thought it was superb. I had never been to it. It was my first time, and it was just extraordinary to see for the first time. It's just I want to live in those little like just demos that they make. It's somebody could live in something like that.
For sure.
I could put it in my backyard and make it like a party house or something. These are, these are just you walk in this stuff, and it's so ginormous. I was like, how long do these guys take to build this stuff? Because it seems like it would take me an eternity. So I'm not sure if you guys have ever been there before when they're building this stuff. How does that take place? Have y'all checked it out?
Yeah, so they usually take anywhere from, like, honestly, 3, 4, 5 days. They do it so quickly. It's all
Okay.
local contractors that put everything together. Everything is shipped in crates, and you have to, as quickly as you have to set it up, you have to take it down within like 48 hours. It's insane.
Wow. I'm pretty sure they get fined and stuff like that in case they don't, because I'm sure they're always having some kind of convention. So they need this stuff in and out. And either this stuff gets probably donated or just destroyed and thrown in the trash, which is just wow. I'm like, somebody took so long. Well, not that long, but enough time to put it together for that event, and then it just comes crashing down. What were your first impressions? Some of you guys, because it was my first time, and I think Eddie, it was your first time. I don't know about the rest of you. You probably have already been there if y'all are recognized as rock stars. So, what were y'all some first impressions when you went to the covering show the first time, especially the one in Las Vegas, because I think it's a little bit bigger.
Well, for me personally, this was actually this last one was my first time attending. I've been to other trade events in the past, whether it's like the mosaic classes or um, the mud event that happens every year as well for people that like that float walls and floors. But yeah, coverings was a whole different thing. It was way bigger. And yeah, I mean, just I mean, the biggest thing for me always in coming into events like that is the connections that you get with people from all across the U.S. that are, you know, in the same grind as you, and that have that connection that you do to tile. It's always good to connect with people from other areas.
Yeah, especially when everybody's, you know, all around the nation, everybody's just scattered, and everybody's probably in the same organizations. So it's more like, to me, it's more like a brotherhood, a family. I noticed that right away. It's just like when we go to our events for carpet and LVP, LVT, and all these other floors, everybody's organizations, they have some type of, you know, brotherhood, and everybody just, it seems, you know, like you're picking up from somewhere you left off, but you've never talked to that person. It's just, you can just start conversing with people. And these, yeah, you're right. These connections that you make are long lasting, because of course, you know, you're gonna kind of get attracted to some of these people and form these bonds, and later on, hopefully that helps you out, because then you're able to call somebody and ask them, hey, you know what, this and this happened to me personally in my job. You know, what's your take on some of this advice you can give me? So that's where the mentorship comes in, on some of these people that just know more than, you know, than yourself sometimes. So it's good to have these connections. What were some other first impressions that stood out with you guys, like that you noticed right away that you're like, wow, this is something I like. I knew it was worth it, and I came to see, and I wanted to see this in particular, or maybe just something that caught you by surprise, or is there anything like that that you guys noticed out there?
I think Eddie.
Maybe the coffee on the Italian side, the cappuccino, right? Because you have one side, then you have your Spanish, your Spain, your Italy side, and I mean, I went over there just because I feel like in this one around, versus going to like Thais, for example, I felt there was so many people that spoke Spanish. So many tile setters were there that were installers, craftsmen, artisans, and they were just, everybody was speaking Spanish. So it was real easy for everyone to connect. I don't know how you guys felt about that. So many people speaking Spanish.
Yeah, so last year was the first year that we did contractor tours in Spanish, and we had 2 Spanish panels. Mal was actually on one of my panels, and it was amazing. And it was the first year that we did it. So ya saben, la raza no siempre llegan a tiempo,
Sí.
o dicen que van a llegar y luego no llegan.
Como hoy. Sí,
Como
yo.
hoy. Llegan tarde,
Looking at you, Joppe.
pero
No, I'm
la
just-
cosa es que llegan.
It's because I was getting the tacos. That's the excuse.
Ándale, tacos y cerveza, por
Tacos.
eso. So, el año pasado creo que tuvimos como 3 personas en el tour de contratistas en español, pero este año fue, o sea, un gran placer ver que el tour tenía casi, o sea, 20 personas, 15 personas, había un montón de gente.
Muchas personas.
Y fue padre ver que, pues, que todos estaban ahí, o sea, escuchando y queriendo saber y preguntando. El año pasado, o sea, tuvimos los 10 stops, pero este año fueron diferentes. O sea, estaba Wonder Porcelain y otras personas, obviamente Fila, QEP, Schluter, pero fue muy padre ver que el soporte, ¿verdad? Que la industria tiene a los latinos, y eso fue para mí lo más impactante, porque el año pasado, hasta en nuestros paneles, en nuestras discusiones, las únicas personas en la audiencia eran nuestras familias. Nuestras familias, nuestros amigos, los que, ándale, tienes que venir. Y este año, o sea, estaba así de gente. Like, they were everywhere. And that was really, really cool. You know, it's a proud big sister moment for me to be able to, you know, see that it's continuing. And of course, seeing Mao up there, and, you know, it was awesome.
Yeah, and this year Eddie did the tour in Spanish, which he had a big crowd of people he was trying to get through, you know, to see others. Yeah, and it was a little hard hearing, you know, with the little microphones, but once you get to where you need to go, then gracias a Dios todos, alguien tiene un representante en cada fabricante que habla español, que es lo bueno.
Ujú.
So, lo que es bueno ir, aprender y que ellos sean disponibles para las personas que hablan español, ¿verdad? Porque es muy necesario ir a aprender de ellos directamente. Te enseñan ahí, te dicen cómo puedes usar la herramienta que tienen o los productos que ellos hacen que están disponibles para uno de Towsetter, ¿verdad? Solo que sí, fue muy impactante eso, ¿verdad? Eso es lo que me gustó porque atrae a la comunidad hispana así para que puedan ir a estos eventos, que yo vi mucha gente que estaba tomando eso en cuenta y estaban yendo a los entrenamientos que hablan dos idiomas, ¿verdad? Los que te ofrecían en dos idiomas, como Larry Creed, te daba información en español. No me recuerdo si era Ruby Tool también. Había varias personas y fabricantes de fierros y herramientas que tienen personas en español, que es lo bueno, que hay ayuda para nosotros ahí con ellos.
Sí, y otra cosa, Jorge, con ellos, con compañías desde del año pasado a ahora, por ejemplo, Ruby antes no tenía instrucciones en español, ahora sí los tienen. Latticrete también tiene más instrucciones, tienen más cosas en español para que los instaladores puedan leerlo, porque como estábamos hablando antes, es mucha gente, o sea, nosotros como latinos a veces nomás muy a
Dale.
la...
Nomás dale la carrera, las instrucciones las agarran y las avientan.
¿Cuáles instrucciones? Pero para los instaladores que sí quieren estar asegurados que están haciendo las mezclas bien, es importante tener instrucciones en español, no nomás eso, pero también, I think, this is the Spanglish, but I think that it gives us representation and it lets us know que como hispanos nosotros valemos la pena en que ellos escriban y nos hablen en nuestro idioma, porque no todos son dichosos como nosotros que somos bilingües, ¿verdad? A veces podemos escuchar el español y leer el español, pero tal vez no hablarlo muy bien. Pero o sea, we're bilingual, so it doesn't matter to us, but for someone else, it's a huge impact.
Sí, ¿y qué tan importante es eso de que las instrucciones y todo esté en español para ustedes? Porque yo sé que para mí, yo miro la comunidad hispana y en veces hay ciertas cosas cuando se escriben en las instrucciones que uno no entiende, ¿verdad? Esa palabra es muy fácil ahora buscar la información en el internet, ¿verdad? Aunque sea en el español o en inglés o en francés, cualquier otro idioma, pero especialmente en español. ¿Qué tan importante es para ustedes esta información de que esté disponible en los dos idiomas o en múltiples idiomas? ¿Les ha
Bueno,
ayudado personalmente?
para nosotros es muy importante porque la verdad casi todos los instaladores que tenemos aquí solamente hablan español. Y es uno de los problemas de las clases que dan a veces en las tiendas que nomás las tienen en inglés y los instaladores pues ya nomás se la pasan viendo alrededor y haciendo otras cosas porque no entienden lo que está pasando, solamente que alguien más se lo esté traduciendo en el momento. So que teniendo las instrucciones en español, teniendo lecciones en español, es un gran beneficio. Aquí, tan siquiera en mi área, es un gran beneficio porque no hay mucha gente que son bilingües y que están trabajando la mano de obra. Para nosotros aquí vienen muchos de Latinoamérica, de Centroamérica, y muchos no hablan nada en inglés y por eso están en la mano de obra y los aquí trabajando. So que las instrucciones son muy, muy útiles porque si alguien no está en el sitio traduciendo para ellos, muchas veces no hacen las cosas o lo hacen mal. Y ya con las instrucciones en español, tan siquiera pueden tener la oportunidad de leerlos e intentar de hacer las cosas correctas.
Sí, y hay muchas personas que, aunque vengan de otros países, tienen educación en sus países también. Solo que algo tan simple como poner esa información en el lenguaje de ellos también les puede ayudar a lo mejor a, a elevarse para arriba, ¿verdad? Y ver otra información que a lo mejor no era disponible antes para ellos. Solo que hay personas que son educadas también que vienen de otros países, solo que es muy importante la información que está ahí. De pura casualidad, ¿ustedes fueron a algún seminario de educación mientras estaban ahí? Porque yo atendí varios, yo les digo seminarios de educación, pienso que así son, pero algo como había diseñadoras hablando, para mí algo que me impresionó fue las diseñadoras que estaban hablando sobre los colores que escogen en el principio del año, los colores que van a escoger durante el año, qué es lo que te va a usar y normalmente escogen como 3 colores y esos son los que van a hacer algo especial. Pero no sé si ustedes atendieron algo así similar a alguno de los seminarios de educación que les haya fascinado.
I didn't attend any, but I would love to know what was said in some of those design seminars.
Yeah, the
Or
design
any-
seminars were cool. The color ones, they were just showing you how, like, they pick out the colors every year, and I don't know as far as like how they chose them because it was so much information thrown at you, but they end up choosing so many colors out of a palette, and those are the colors that are going to be used throughout the year on magazines and such. I thought that was really nice. And then there was other stuff that I went to that I'm not a towel setter, so I would go in and they would talk about, something in the TCNA handbook or something, and I'm like, what is that? And you have to show me pictures because I don't know. I'm just looking at something and it's just numbers and some stuff I do understand, but other things I'm like, I don't know what that is until I see it personally or work at it personally. But I'm sure it's a lot of information for you guys. So did you guys attend anything else other than maybe
Yeah,
go ahead.
for a while I stopped by. It was a discussion panel on deflection. No sé la verdad cómo se dice en eso en español. Es cuando los pisos que se mueven con la presión del peso y cómo te afecta eso en lo que es el azulejo. So yeah, I went there for a little bit y la otra que fui fue uno que se llama Mindset Matters, que pasó cada día y se dedica a lo que es la salud mental en nuestra industria. Como mucha gente que trabaja en la construcción no habla mucho de existe depresión o la ansiedad que uno anda pasando, que si está atrás en el trabajo o lo que sea, también familiar, lo que sea. Especialmente pues como nosotros como latinos siempre si uno anda depresado nomás dicen pues, ponte las pilas o ponte a hacer algo. Entonces sí me gustó que la industria anda puchando eso también, de que si no nomás deberías de enfocarte y seguir adelantando en lo que es el trabajo, pero también cuidar lo que es tu mental.
Sí, lo físico y lo mental. Yo también fui a esa presentación, era muy diferente porque te enseñaban ciertas respiraciones, cómo respirar y cómo para que se te quite la ansiedad, ¿verdad? Para que relajes un poquito. Y esto lo hice antes de que tuvimos el panel discussion de nosotros en español. They were right before us. So I was on that. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and check this out. And it was very different. And as long as you participate, it makes you feel better when you do stuff like that because everybody else is doing it. You don't want to be the one that's not doing it. So, participated in it because I was there anyway. I was next. We were next on the panel discussion. Pero sí era algo muy diferente, es muy necesario porque la raza, tú sabes, no es así como dices tú. They're like, hey, ponte a jalar, no seas huevón. Son bien gachos todos, ¿verdad? En la raza de nosotros. Solo que sí, no, es bueno tener algo un poquito diferente, ¿verdad? Para que quiebre esa rutina de que siempre te están nomás picando, nomás pique y algo más mejor, algo más positivo, ¿verdad? Pero esas fueron cosas que a mí me atrayeron también. How do you feel about the panel discussion? The arts panel discussion, how was that? Because it was education, certification, and training. ¿Cómo se sintieron tocante eso? Joppe y Mauricio.
I personally really liked our panel. Like Angie was saying, last year she gave me the opportunity to be a part of the panel or a Spanish panel. Y esa fue la primera vez que pude hablar en frente de personas y tener esa experiencia. So I thought this panel in particular, both titles of the panels that were discussed in coverings were really interesting. Of course, I was a little biased to our panel because we were a part of it, but I thought it was really important, and I thought the show out, the amount of people who were there, I think it was also kind of getting into that realm of when the giveaways were about to come out, follow after us. So a lot more people were there, and even though not everybody sat down in front to have that keen attention to what we were mentioning, you would see people walk around. They would be holding their drinks and happy hour. They would stop. They would look at us. They would look at the screen. At least that's what I noticed. And I think it's another step forward towards pushing the Hispanic strength within our culture. I particularly personally enjoyed it a lot. What you guys think?
I mean, for me, I agree. I like that the industry is, making an effort into reaching the Spanish speaking community as far as the education and certifications. I think it only elevates the industry as a whole, having more people certified, especially Spanish speaking people, porque pues la verdad es una parte bien grande de aquí en Estados Unidos, el idioma segundo más hablado de aquí. Y la verdad muchas veces se nota que, o ves en los comentarios que comentan como cosas que uno no tiene que reputación buena en cuanto a los latinos de hacer trabajos correctamente. Y yo no creo que es por la razón de que ellos o nosotros no queramos. Pues uno nomás hace el trabajo de la manera que aprende uno. Entonces, sabiendo hacerlo correctamente, teniendo certificaciones, hacer las cosas a los estándares de de nuestra industria, yo creo que cualquier persona puede hacer lo mismo y aprender a hacer las cosas de la manera correcta.
Sí, digo que, bueno, yo nomás puedo hablar de mi área y Angelica puede estresar y llorar todo lo que cuando le enseño, cuando le mando fotos de cómo hacen las cosas aquí, pero de la gente que hace todo lo que es las membranas y todo eso, nadie verdaderamente hace esto aquí. Todos piensan que es algo opcional. Y todo eso, que con la primera vez que tomé una clase de shooter, se me hace que nomás somos unos 10, 15 que usamos el producto. Somos una ciudad de casi 800,000 personas y todo con tantas casas que están haciendo cada año. Todavía hasta ahorita, si voy a las casas nuevas, entro y están instalando travertino sobre Durock sin nada de membrana y para ellos es algo normal. Así son las cosas que siempre se han hecho. Y estoy viene siendo eso de la educación. Muchas veces piensan, dicen, no, pues ya tengo yo tantos años haciendo esto, nunca me han dicho que lo estoy haciendo mal, o que yo lo estoy haciendo correcto, o nunca me ha fallado, o que para qué voy a cambiar yo las cosas, porque voy a gastar yo tiempo y dinero en aprendiendo y haciendo otras cosas cuando los demás no lo están haciendo. Y es uno de los problemas que tenemos aquí, porque lo quiero hacer correcto, lo quiero hacer como deben ser las cosas, pero también el cliente, lo que tenemos aquí son bien diferentes cuando viene siendo al precio y todo. Obviamente, si voy a poner las membranas y instalar todo eso, va a costar mucho más que alguien que nomás va a poner el panel de yeso y poner 3, 4 gotas de thin set y para arriba y a la siguiente casa. Muchos de los instaladores aquí, las casas nuevas, están instalando cerámica en la mañana y ya para la tarde llega el segundo grupo y ya le están poniendo la boquilla. So que en un día acaban toda la casa completa. Ah, si la están haciendo correctamente es imposible hacer eso, pero así viene siendo la industria aquí y viene siendo también eso de la educación. Es de que no tenemos nadie aquí que están enseñando, que quieren aprender bien, pero la cosa es que la gente quiere aprender, hay gente que sí quiere saber cómo hacer las cosas correctas y avanzar adelante. El problema también es apenas, como estaban diciendo ahorita, apenas están sacando las instrucciones en material y en los productos en español. Eso que hasta que tenemos las clases en español, la gente no va a saber que últimamente han estado haciendo las cosas incorrectas. La primera vez que tomé la clase yo de shooter y nos estaban enseñando todos los defectos y cómo queda todo mal, yo simplemente me quedé sentado pensando cuántos baños ya quedaron todos dañados de las cosas que hice incorrectamente. Pero eso fue porque yo no sabía cómo hacer las cosas correctas. Yo aprendí de otros instaladores que ya tenían 20, 30 años haciendo el producto, haciendo esto, y así fue como yo aprendí a hacer las cosas. Viene siendo, y como uno de los trabajadores que trabaja conmigo, como dice, muchas veces para la raza, yendo a la escuela y aprendiendo, es visto como una falla de ellos mismos como trabajadores. Muchos piensan, muchos se quedan pensando bueno, tú tuvieses que tomar clases porque tú no sabes cómo hacer el trabajo. Yo no tengo que tomar esas clases porque yo sé cómo hacer yo sé cómo hacer las cosas correctas. Y últimamente salen que aprendes que ellos están haciendo las cosas incorrectas por 20, 30 años. Pero si nadie si nadie les enseña cómo hacer las cosas correctas, nunca van a cambiar la manera.
Y es por eso uno tiene, como líderes en la industria, ¿verdad? Hay que ponerle mucha énfasis a los estándares que están dentro de nuestro oficio para poder enseñar esos estándares en el lenguaje apropiado a las personas que están teniendo esos problemas, ¿verdad? Esas barreras en el lenguaje para que puedan hacer el empleo de ellos un poquito más mejor, el trabajo de ellos. Otra cosa que me gustó no, I don't know if you guys went to this, and just getting off subject a little bit, but did y'all guys get to go to the Gary Sinise talk by chance? I think I've seen maybe a couple of you there. Pero esa fundación de Gary Sinise, when I went there and I checked that out, that just gave me like knots in my throat. It was just such a touching experience. That was one of the things that I went to that I wanted to talk to you guys about, on how they just help out veterans. So that was a good thing. Also, him going out there just showing all the information that they have for the foundation and how they help veterans, that unfortunately have some types of situation where they're unable to walk, amputated or something like that, and they're able to help. I thought that was something very touching. So I'm not sure if you guys went to that, and maybe your take on some of that.
I had the opportunity to go to the panel, to the speech that they were holding. I thought it was particularly interesting how much support there is behind there, and it's very encouraging to see manufacturers, installers. There was a very large sum of people who were present there, and just like you, I thought it was just as encouraging to see that support all the way through.
Yeah, especially having like just one specific trade support you in pretty much all the flooring and stuff like that. Maybe installation wise, having the information there on people that know the book front to back, that are able to tell you, hey, this is the way this is supposed to be installed in these homes, because they're special homes that they build. I thought that was very, very interesting. And it was, I teared up at the end because he started talking about his son and all this other stuff, and how they, how they traveled, and how they make music and such. So I thought it was something very interesting very great to go to and just participate in some of that stuff. But that was just one of the things that I wanted to talk about because it was just it really captivated me. Um,
I think it says a lot about our community, like you were talking about earlier, like the tile community, the stone community. You know, Mindset Matters had a fundraiser for one of our installers who passed away earlier this year. You know, we've lost a lot of really good guys in the last couple of years, and everything from you know, our guys coming together, whether it's to sell a shirt and then they donate that to the family, or, you know, helping with GoFundMe, or helping wives. You know, guys are showing up to mow lawns. You know, guys are showing up to say, hey, I know a lawyer, let me pay the retainer so that you could do this. You know, like our community is more than just tile and stone and carpet and construction. You know, I feel like, at least, I don't know, on your side of the world, Jorge, but on the tile side, everything is like itty bitty. Everything is so small. Everyone knows everyone. There isn't, you know, anyone that I help with this. You know, I'm never in Houston, but, you know, when I am, Mauricio is going to be the first person that I call. You know, people, amazing people that have really become more than just friends, and it's not just like an online community. And I think opportunities like coverings really gives us all, it's like a family reunion, you know, and everyone is able to get together and really get to know each other more. And I think it just solidifies that relationship between our industry.
Yeah. And it's because we put ourselves out there too. Like you're gonna know these people because you're going out there to these events, whether they're local, regional, or you have a travel across the country for something like that. You know, that's we have the same thing with our organization too. We've had people that gotten sick, and we do also fundraisers, shirts, stuff like that. And there are people who travel across the country just to go see these individuals that might have gotten sick or might have passed, and just to see their family members for support. So it's a good thing. It's the same thing in both of our organizations, and that's good. That's what we want to see, because once you start going to these organizations, cuando comienzan a ir a estas actividades que tenemos, ¿verdad? Dentro de la industria, se comienzan a hacer, tienen esa, son como esa hermandad, ¿verdad? Son como familia. Después ya nos comenzamos a hablar, así como nosotros ahorita. Tenemos eso, ¿verdad? Que desde que nos conocimos, ustedes ya se conocen de tiempo antes, pero a mí, yo brincando de ese grupo, me gusta aprender de los demás, conocerlos, ver cómo están haciendo, y ustedes hacen un trabajo maravilloso, ¿verdad? Tienen muy bonito trabajo, por eso es que los sigo a ustedes, y son muy buenas personas. Si eso es lo que queremos, ¿verdad? No queremos estar picándonos unos a los otros, pero queremos estar elevándonos todos, estemos sanos o no, ¿verdad? Porque todos nos enfermamos, todos tenemos esos problemas en la vida que un día van a llegar, ¿verdad? Nos vamos a hacer viejos, y lamentablemente unos con problemas y unos bien y unos no. Lo que es bonito ver es esa hermandad, ¿verdad? Dentro de la industria. Y la única manera que lo vamos a poder ver es si nos presentamos, ¿verdad? Porque si estamos escondidos en un rincón, well, we're hiding, we're never gonna know, I'm not gonna know who you are, right? And it just takes a little bit of courage to go up, just talk to people. And especially once happy hour comes, then of course, I'm gonna grab a beer and I'm gonna wanna talk to you guys. But yeah, other than that, what do you think about the CTI, the guys that are doing the CTEF demo live? I thought that was super cool. When I went over there by QEP Roberts area in the back, they had that little area where, every day, I guess they had a different group of guys going up there and just taking that test. And it didn't look like anything big, but I'm sure like some guys don't even finish it.
No, it's a huge deal. So the CTI, and Joppe, Mauricio, correct me when I'm wrong, but with the CTI, it's a two-parter. You do your online you do your test, and then you do an in-person. I think the biggest challenge with doing it at coverings is obviously you have a bunch of people staring at you, and it's noisy, and it's not very climate control. And if you're not local, you have to bring in your tools, right? Which is like one of those things where people are like, well, I'm not going to do it at coverings because I have to take tools. But what they forget is that there's so many generous people who are willing to do that for you. And part of my job, my self, I don't know what the word is, but I mean, installers are my passion. I love all of my guys. And, you know, we had a couple of guys that said, well, I want to go to coverings and do my CTI, but I don't have any money. So I immediately got on the phone. Let me see who I can call. Let me see what I can do. Because it's all about who you know, and it's all about how long, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen? Vas a preguntar y te van a decir que no. Okay, te dicen que no. Pero tomar like, to be CTI is such a big deal, at least here in Texas, Mal. I mean, we have a couple of CTIs in the state that do work abroad. They do work in the Bahamas. I mean, Trinity is a CTI and an ACT, and they hire him to go to the Bahamas like several times a year just to watch them install tile. And I'm like, I want to go to the Bahamas and just watch. Like,
They just invited me to Puerto Rico in case you want to go do carpet.
not, I mean, I will watch you.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to go. All right, I'm gonna go.
All right.
Well, I'm sure your wife said you better be going, or she's like, I'm going with you.
All right. I told her, I'm like, grab your stuff. We can go to Puerto Rico. But
Do
yeah,
it.
that was incredible to see these guys just attacking that small little shower area. I think with a little shower pan, right? I don't know if it has a little shower pan or something. 25 square feet or 28 square feet. I can't remember what it is.
The shower
But
wall,
yeah.
shower floor, 2 walls. It's very intricate. The way that it's graded, it's very, very intricate. It takes a really long time to grade it. You're timed. Some guys finish early. Some guys never finish at all. And, you know, that's the whole point, is just trying to really test. And it's not, you can be an excellent tile installer, like the best in the world, and still fail your CTI. It has nothing to do with how you do your cuts and how intricate you are with your mosaic and how good you can back butter and all this other stuff. It really has everything to do with how well can you follow the industry standard that has been set before us by the TCNA.
I would love to know Joppe's experience, because I had the experience of taking the CTI test, and it appears when you look at it, the first thing as a tile installer, you go, I can do that. I do this every day, right? Like you get this almost sense of confidence. You're like, okay, this is, you kind of mentally think, I'll do this, I'll do this next. And throughout the build up, you actually do that mental step by step in your head. I was curious. I failed my first run at it. I was shy off by 8 points. And I know now where I could have gotten better at. But I was curious to Joppe's experience, and then you, Jorge, in the carpet industry, the certification, and like what that process looks in comparison to like the CTI.
Yeah, for me, I think I want to say I took the test in 2018. When I took it, I hadn't actually even, I had just moved to Portland area, and I hadn't really heard about NTCA or CTAP or anything like that. And it was through a boss I was working with at the time. His name was Dirk Sullivan. It was with Hawthorne Tile, and he signed me up for it. Basically, not soon after I started working with them. And yeah, I mean, looking at the test and looking at the pictures, you know, obviously I went online on all the Facebook groups and started looking at, like, you know, looking at other people, what their modules might look like or what was all involved. And And at the time, I had been doing tile for I don't know, maybe like 12, 13 years, something like that. And so in my head, I thought, oh, I have it all handled. It's all going to be a breeze. But when you finally get to it and you start setting the tiles, you start seeing that time going by, and you start getting closer. You really do start feeling it. It's a lot of cuts. It's quite a bit of planning that you have to do, and also and just the fact that it's a test. It's that extra stress. It's not like on a project, and you can do it. It's knowing that you're going to get graded.
Were they still using the like the trim pencils, or were you able to use?
Yeah, when I took it, it was bull nose still.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, as far as for us, the testing, there's different types of testing depending on where you want to excel. So they're gonna have residential carpet certifications. They're gonna have commercial carpet. So some people like one or the other. I do a lot of residential, so I did the introductory residential, and I did that in 2013. And basically on that one, you still take testing, they still grade you, but it's more of hey, you can ask a question and they'll answer it for you. Once you take the second portion of that, they don't answer any questions. It's kind of like, here you go, this is what the work order, this is what I need for you to do. So that's the way it is on the R1, C1, and then once you get to the C2, then you can't, they won't help you at all. With the NFIC, it was a little bit more difficult, the natural fiber, because there's so many different types of different woven rugs or loom goods that it was a little bit more difficult. That one, it was just you're back to back. You're doing something here, you're waiting for the adhesive to flash off or do something, and then you're doing something else in the meantime because you're learning on a different product. So you're jumping from area to area, learning something different. And on that, it's just an all day beat down. And you got to kind of not mix one with the other because of the fact that you're going to have to jump back onto that installation that you're doing and finish it off. And then they're going to grade you based off of that. And then jump back over there to sew something by hand or glue something down or delaminate, undo a carpet backing or something. So I feel that there's different stages. It's not as difficult as what I was looking at when I was there. That's very technical. It's, they're getting down to every little thing when I was there watching them, the judges. So I feel it's a little different. It's not as hardcore. But it's look, Yobi.
I will say I've since then, I've taken and passed 4 other ACTs, but when I keep looking back at the CTI, I think the CTI was the hardest one. It gets easier after that one because
So
it's
after
the
that,
CTI
what do you
they're
have after
graded.
that?
So what I have is mud walls, mud floors, large format tile flooring, and then I have the GPTP, which is the gauge porcelain panels. And I'm not sure what the rest of them are. My plan so far is to get them all, but there's a total of 9 tests.
Oh wow!
So there's like shower receptors. There's water, like topical waterproofing, and a few other and grout as well. I forget what the other ones are.
So do you reach a level of mastery, for example? Is there like destin maestro after a while, title wise, or no?
I don't know I'm not really sure where our industry so far is when it comes to that. We only have on the residential side, we only have one person so far that has it. And that's Nick Strusik, and he just completed it this year. I don't. Besides that, we don't really have anybody else that has all of them. I know the union side of things, the commercial work. They have a lot of people that have all those certifications, but on the residential side, it's still kind of a growing part, especially past the CTI. The ACTs are still pretty small. I mean, I want to say the numbers are still like maybe in the upper 40s or maybe 50. So it's not that many. And then I want to say the CTIs are it's over 2,000 now.
And which those classes are pretty moderate in pricing, would you say, or are they? Is it like they're
Uh,
affordable?
Yeah, I mean, with the CTI, I mean, there's so many like Angelica was saying, there's a lot of resources out there. I mean, I mean, when I took mine, I did it through a boss at that time I was working under somebody, but like at the motor event, Tech pays for tests and that coverings. What do we have? We had Schluter and QEP, and I want to say there was somebody else that sponsored. So there is options. I want to say the tests are around $800, but what I always tell other contractors that want to take it is that $800 at the end of the day. I mean, it's a tax write off. It looks great on your company. It's something that you advertise. You get more out of it than what you spend. So it's to me $800 is nothing when it comes to like growing your business and expanding what you want to do.
Yeah,
And just
especially when. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I say just to touch on the pricing. I mean, there's tons of resources, tons and tons of resources. It's literally the worst that can happen is that someone says no, but no one's going to, it's yet to I've yet to been told no on someone who wants to complete their CTI and they don't have a place or, they don't have the money to do it. A lot of times it's just, we get sponsors to, all you have to do is get there and they'll get you your hotel and they'll pay for your test. So a lot of it is like, you have to meet them halfway. Not everything is going to be completely free, but there's definitely tons of places. J&R Tile in San Antonio. I mean, they have offered up, they just had a couple of ACT tests there 2 weeks ago. That's why we were in San Antonio and saw you. But they had a couple of tests there, 4 or 6 tests, something like that. And they're always up for it. I mean, it's always a matter of just asking for it. And the way that the guys at CTEF work, Bradford Denny, all of those guys are so wonderful. They're so, we don't have anything scheduled for here, but they're for the Dallas area, but there is interest. So now it's just a matter of, really finding a location in Dallas. Maybe we'll go to San Antonio because I already have a location there with J&R. But there's tons of resources out there to help you. And any of the CTI guys are willing to answer a text message or a Facebook message and really get like the lowdown on how hard it is. Because it's not easy. I couldn't even imagine doing that. And every year, or last year was the first year that they did an all-woman CTI in March in Florida. So all of the girls were flown out to Florida, expenses paid, everything. So the opportunity is there for those who are seeking it and for those who want it.
That's good. And yeah, if anything, there's a lot of people backing up. There's, like you said, if anything, if you don't ask, you're not gonna know. So there's a lot of people supporting the industry, and very big supporters. QEP Roberts, that's another big one. They're awesome. Most of the times, anything I need, I can ask them, and they'll send it to me right away. So I appreciate people like that. I don't know if y'all went to the hot dog eating thing event that they had with their hot dog blade that they were bringing back out. Yeah, bringing back out to the market. So like, just little stuff like that, having a little party for everybody, just, that makes it fun. So yeah, I love QEP Roberts. They're big supporters in our industry as well, in the carpet industry. So it's good to see people like that always supporting, and other sponsors, right, that support, that are able to just kind of go meet halfway, like you said.
Yeah, and you know about doing your exams. I mean, TIES has it. CFI has stuff at TIES or surfaces every year. That's always been really fun and interesting to see the way that the patterns are with the carpet, and and there's cuts and all of the, it's, I mean, I feel like all of the exams across the board are so intricate and different, but there's also experience, you guys have, your side, LVP, carpet, all of that.
Yeah, and I see the CTEF people. They have their booth right there by us too. And this year around, I saw the guys that were doing their testing, which I think this year I'm not sure if when I went to the coverings one, there was very few people that passed it. I mean, there was maybe like 4 people, 5 tops, and I would just hear that only one guy passed it out of the whole group, or maybe none of them passed it. But yeah, that's it's good to have sponsors, because at least you go test yourself and try to finish it up, because I'm guessing that if you don't finish, even if it looks really good, I'm guessing you failed already.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so if anything, try to do as best as you can, finish it up, because you want to see where you're at as far as your skills yourself too, especially on a crunch time format like that, where it's just maybe like 7-8 hours or something like that. I don't know what the timing is.
Yeah.
But other than that, let's talk about the awards you guys got. How do you guys feel about those awards that you received this year? How do you feel it has impacted you in your life personally, receiving that award?
Me personally, I was shocked actually to get the news that I had received the Rockstar Award this year. It was something that I had previously looked at and definitely wanted in my life, but I didn't think that I would actually receive it. And then this year, whenever I received it, it was a nice moment to just kind of absorb and look back at everything that I've personally gone through. I mean, the startup of a business, the reason why you started up, in my case, for my family, for my wife and my newborn baby boy, and it's nice to look back and just the award kind of symbolized everything that you had gone through at that point for your company, for yourself, and to notice or to have people notice that sort of dedication that you have to your craft. It's actually really, really encouraging.
What does it take to get to that level? Like, what does it take, like, as far as like, because you're not average, right? You're a rock star. So what do you feel it got you there?
It's a great question. I think personally, you gotta be dedicated to this. You really gotta be. I remember I was actually just talking to my father about this not too long ago, about whenever I set up the company, my personal company, Prominent Tile, here in Houston. I mean, I had no real leads aside from just the knowledge and the experience that my father had given me. And at that point, I was dating my wife. We were in the dating phase still. And I was really passionate at making sure that I would be able to provide for her and start our family and kind of build up the company. So I would show up to Dial Tile, Thorntree, all the tile distributors. I would speak to them. I would talk to them. Just grind. I would show up every designer event. I would go to educational classes. I would speak with the trainers. I would stay after each training to help them pick up, to just talk to them. And you really got to be dedicated to wanting to grow, wanting to expand your knowledge. And, it's really just a leap of faith.
Yeah, that's how I felt it with myself as well. Like, you're not going to get to where you want to be at if just sitting down, playing video games. somewhere. You got to actually get up, get out, get out of that routine, start studying, picking up the books, and just, going to where the knowledge is that you need in order to succeed. And I didn't mean to make that rhyme, but it did. But that's what we need, right? We necesitamos levantarnos de esa rutina de todos los días, agarrar un libro, aprender algo nuevo, y parar de ver novelas, comer fritos y soda, ¿verdad? Y salirte de esa rutina y ir a aprender algo, porque hay algo más allá, ¿verdad? De lo normal. ¿Quieres hacer más dinero? Aprende algo nuevo, porque hay unas personas que en veces se meten en una rutina y están en la rutina por años. Misma rutina, en veces hasta como que te fastidias de lo mismo, andas fastidiado. Para mí era aprender algo nuevo, dentro de los mismos oficios, nomás algo diferente. Déjame aprendo cómo hacer esto para que mi mente comience a trabajar en algo nuevo, porque después estoy estancado en el mismo lugar y no me puedo salir de ese charquito y brinco de un charquito a otro todos los días. Pero cuando ya comencé yo a aprender algo nuevo, dije, y era lo mismo, salirme de nomás estar pegado en viendo, viendo televisión, jugando video games y comenzando a hablar con personas. Hey, ¿cómo lo hiciste en ese trabajo? Y luego comienzas a ver las cosas diferentes. Cuando vas a un lugar, a un edificio, dices, oh, alguien hizo esto, right? ¿Cómo es que lo hicieron de esa manera? Quiero aprender cómo hacerlo. Solo que es esa rutina, uno tiene que salir de esas rutinas todos los días. ¿Hubo algún momento donde ustedes dijeron, después de la misma rutina, decir, sabes que ya no quiero hacer este empleo? Porque aparentemente elevaron, ¿verdad? Pero llegaron a un punto donde, así como estaba hablando, estaban todos los días haciendo lo mismo, a lo mejor quieren hacer algo diferente.
Para mí personalmente, diría que hubo un tiempo, casi como unos 5 años, entonces lleva como 15 años en la construcción, que como que me andaba aburriendo un poco y fue cuando empecé a meterme más a lo que es a los eventos, y también fui a unas clases de mosaico, y más que nada las clases de mosaico fue algo que siempre quería hacer, pero no sabía que lo podía hacer. Y recientemente es algo ya nuevo que ofrezco en mi compañía, y también pues me hice nuevos amigos en las clases también en esta industria de gente que hace mosaicos, y como andabas diciendo, si uno quiere, pues quiere crecer su conocimiento, su compañía, solo uno lo va a hacer aprendiendo más, escuchándose, y con eso mismo metiéndome a la industria, lo que son las clases, y empezar a hacer los mosaicos. Es como que me enamoré otra vez del azulejo, y ahorita no puedo, no veo que sea algo diferente después en el futuro, no creo.
You're already trapped in. Ya estás atrapado en el...
It's a good trap, though. It's a good trap. I like working with my hands, so.
It's like blood in, blood out. You can't get out anymore.
Yeah, for sure. It's the same thing with us. You just see the same guys just going to different locations, but they're still in the same trade, in a sense. They're just jumping around.
Yo no me imagino estar en una industria diferente, no me imagino estar trabajando con gente diferente. A mí me encanta la construcción. No puedo ir a ningún lugar, a un Airbnb, a un hotel, en mi propia casa, o sea, en mi apartamento. No puedo ir a ningún lugar sin decir, no instalaron eso bien, no hicieron esto, grout o esto, lo otro, pero igual a mí me fascina crecer, me fascina aprender más de nuestra industria, de lo que ustedes como instaladores están haciendo. Y no me imagino trabajar en una industria donde no pueda ser yo, where I couldn't. I live to bully men, and it's my favorite thing. And I just could not bully men in any other industry. And I love it. I want to provide my clients an awesome design and an awesome installation and their dream home. You're a part of building a home. You're a part of building, their future nursery or their future wedding venue or, anything like that.
Yeah, and it feels good. I mean, I feel like when I do a really great job and I work with something really, really nice, I can sleep very well at night. And that's the difference between doing this and maybe doing a job where I don't plant that little seed and it doesn't grow and I don't see the fruits out of that. I feel like, you're leveling up to a point where you can say, man, I did that job right there. And it's something that really stands out. And especially in your guys' trade, man, some of the stuff I've seen when I was out there at coverings, I was like, wow. Just being able to take those little mosaics, like you're saying, and just building something out of it, that's just extraordinary. It takes a lot of time, a lot of man hours, a lot of skill, but you got to have that vision. Tienes que tener esa visión, ¿verdad? Para ver después tus frutos que están realizándose en la vida real. Y para mí es un gran alivio. Yo me siento muy bien todos los días. Siento como que no estoy ni yendo a trabajar. Es como un deporte para mí.
Uh-huh.
Pero ese soy yo, ¿verdad? No sé ustedes. Algo que les dirían, algo que te dirías a ti mismo, pero la versión más joven de ti, aprendiendo, sabiendo lo que tú sabes ahora, ¿qué te dirías a la versión tuya joven en tus años, like 17, 18?
Take care of your goddamn knees. It's the first thing I would tell myself. I mean, it's one thing. Looking back and even talking with some of the older guys, I mean, some of the older guys, I mean, their knees are just shot. Their knees are just shot from just laying down a tile, laying down hardwood carpet. Just because they had that mentality when they were younger of, oh, I don't need knee pads. I don't need that. I'll be fine. I mean, one of the guys that that we work with, he now has a permanent limp because of it, because it just messed up his knees were so messed up, it messed up his hips. I mean, it got up to the point. It got up to that point right there where now that his sons, that I work with as well, they always have their knee pads, and then they have spare knee pads in the vehicle because they've seen the damage that it's caused their dad, and they don't want to go through that right there. So I mean, that's one of the things that I would probably tell myself is just take care of your body, because unlike other jobs, unlike other industries, if our bodies are gone, we can't make our money, we can't support our families, we can't take care of ourselves. So that would be the main thing that I would tell my younger self is take care of your body, 100%.
Yeah, I would tell myself to like invest in one of those exosuits just in case.
Yeah.
Because, man, I need that for carrying stuff around my back. Some days I'm like, oh my goodness. But yeah, you're right. But knees are really important. Rodillas, cuídate las rodillas, cómprate knee pads. Eso es algo que aprendí yo de joven. I got different knee pads for different situations because then you sweat them up and they start to stink, right? So it's like, no, let me give them a little break and then air them out and then get some new ones. But yeah, those are important, man. Anything else that you guys would tell your younger version?
So I've only been in business for roughly about 4 years since I opened my company. I'm not sure what I would tell my younger self. I think the path that I've taken so far up to this point, and every event opportunity, take advantage of every opportunity. Don't be shy to speak to people. Be bold. You get nervous. The idea of being on a panel, to get on podcasts. There's nerves associated to every facet of your craft or building up a business. And as the head of a company or the lead installer or just a member part of a company who's wanting to grow, I think something that I took personally and trying to break that ice for yourself and just go at it. Just go at it, be bold, and look back knowing that you did everything that you could to grow.
Yeah, and I feel a lot of the people that are at these locations, these functions, these expos, these conventions, whatever you want to call them, they're there because they probably want to talk to somebody too. So I feel that everybody that's going to these functions, they're going to want to talk to somebody. They're not going to stay quiet. Even the people that are getting paid to be there have to talk to you, even if they don't want to, right? So that's one thing you're right about that. Just go out there, talk to people. Because what are they going to do? Just turn you down? They're not. Most of the people that I go when I go out there, I start talking to people just out of I could be eating lunch in the press room, and somebody next to me is like, "Hey, well, what's going on with you?" Especially the press. They're gonna want to know what you're doing, who you work with. So everybody wants to talk to you. There's people that are there that are paid to talk to you, and then there's everybody else is there just to have a good time, see some new stuff, network, make these connections that are going to be forever and ever, and hopefully they're great connections, and everybody's going to level up. But the one thing that I know is that when you go to this, you're definitely going to learn something new, at least one thing, because not everybody knows everything. And I feel that you're definitely going to take it upward after that. I've never seen anything negative or had a bad experience after going to any of these trade shows or conventions or expos. It's always something positive. Always meet new people. Always learn something new. So that's what I can take away from that. As far as any closing comments, anything y'all might want to discuss that you feel is important that you might want to get out to the community?
I was just gonna say that since we're talking about coverings, that the show is so important in so many aspects because you get to not just the networking and the happy hours and the parties, but there's the NTCA has demonstrations of how to use how to use all of these products, all of the booths from QEP to Latacrete, Mape. Everyone is constantly having demonstrations at their booths. So if you've never used a product before, if you've never used, a particular cutter, Ruby's going to show you how with that exact tool. And not just that, but you're going to be able to talk to other installers and really have that hands-on experience. Even on the other side, on the stone side, you're going to be able to learn what the stone side is like, the proper installation methods. I mean, the entire show is a gigantic learning event. And, en español hay un dicho que cada quien está como quiere. Y si quieres estar estancado, si quieres quedarte en tu charquito, pues no vayas, ¿verdad? No vayas a coverings, no te sacas de tu burbuja, entonces no vas a aprender nada y vas a seguir siendo el instalador que va a cobrar 5 pies o $5 el pie y nunca va a ser nada interesante, nunca va a pasar nada porque quieres estar ahí. Pero cuando vas a coverings es como respirar por primera vez porque hay millones de cosas que aprender. Y las quieres aprender.
Sí. Y hay que levantarse temprano uno también porque todo comienza súper temprano. Antes de que te dejan entrar al trade show, para que vayas y mires las cosas que hay ahí. Tienen las clases de educación bien temprano en la mañana, comienzan como a las 8 de la mañana y no sé si un poquito más temprano en veces. Y unas son de media hora, unas son de 45 minutos, una hora. Y puedes escoger, ¿verdad? Porque hay 2 o 3 en la mañana. ¿A cuál quiero ir a aprender el día de hoy? Porque hay algo en cada una En veces hasta quieres ir a las 2 y no puedes porque son al mismo tiempo. Pero hay mucha información que se da en las mañanas, solo que tienes que estar fresco como una lechuga. No puedes andar de parranda toda la noche, ¿verdad? Como uno quiere, I'm in Vegas, yeah, party time. But unfortunately, you got to wake up early the next day because these buses are shuttling you and you got to get on the bus early because they start early, which is one thing that was great that I saw at this. Getting a bus from my hotel out to the convention center, that was fantastic. I loved it. So, levántate temprano, agarra el bus que es gratis porque no tienes que pagar el Uber. Y aunque te tarde unos 20, 30 minutos a llegar a tu destinación, llegas con tu cafecito, vas y aprendes algo en la mañana y puedes agarrar como de pérdida 2 o 3 clases de educación en la mañana. Solo que I thought that was really cool. Just the shuttling of the bus early in the morning, get my Starbucks, get ready for the day.
I think
And
people
look at,
forget how easy it is. I mean, you have to pay to get there, but once you get there, I mean, they have, if you book your hotel through Coverings, they give you a huge discount. If you book your flight through Coverings, you get a discount. I know Southwest, this year it was Coverings 2026, and they gave you, it was like a $40 discount or something. You know, Delta does the same thing. They give you a slight discount on it for attending. There's all of these discounts everywhere, but once you get there, o sea, te sales del camión, inmediatamente vas a ver toda la gente que tiene almuerzo gratis, café gratis, obviamente todos los... Yo nunca pagué por mi almuerzo, por mi lonche, por nada, porque todos los booths tenían algo. Y eso, I mean, I love that. Who doesn't love free food, you know? They're like, where'd you... Eddie showed up to one of the panels with like 4 sandwiches. I was like, where did you get sandwiches from?
he had sandwiches in his pocket.
People are showing up with like espressos and like martinis. And I'm like, where are you guys getting this from? I mean, it's a whole world with so much
stuff.
Was
Sandwich Eddie. He was Sandwich Eddie instead of Cheeseburger Eddie. He was like, yeah, the cappuccino, it was on the other side. In like the Spain, Italy side, they were making cappuccinos and all kinds of espressos.
I know they had espresso martinis. I was like, dang.
Ice cream. It wasn't ice cream, it was gelato.
It's a difference between them.
The puppies, don't forget the puppies.
Oh my God, the puppies.
The puppies and the puppy houses, the homes that they would make for the puppies. I thought that was cool too.
So cool.
But yeah,
cool. And all that money's donated to like the local shelter or whatever the thing is. So all of that is like tied back to everything. Pero mi favorito fue el hot dog party de QEP. Aunque no comí hot dogs, pero salí con una cachucha que tiene un hot dog y calcetines de hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing their socks right now. I wish I could show you, but I'm gonna fall down on this chair. But yeah, I got the hot dog, I got the cap, I got the socks, and any kind of goodies, just throw them in the bag. Oh, the kiwi patan, the bag, the kiwi patan.
Oh my gosh, yes, the kiwi patan. I have it. I don't know where I have it, but yeah. Marola's bag was really cool too. Era verde. ¿Se acuerdan? Era gigante.
Or like a green felt one?
Super
Yeah,
cool.
That was nice.
Super pretty.
I ended up bringing a little piece of their tile, Marola tile.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was a great experience for me. My first time. I thought it was wonderful. I got to meet a bunch of great people, a few rock stars. And I mean, there's a lot. There was, I don't know how many guys and gals won that award, but there was quite a bit of them. I saw like maybe like 12 or more than 12. And a lot of people were Hispanic on there, Latino Hispanic. So you guys are the emerging leaders in the industry, in your industry. So thank you for being here.
Mauricio 2 years ago, right, Mal? 2 or 3 years ago at Coverings in Atlanta.
Yep.
And we were Facebook friends on Texas Tile Posse, and then we met at a Noble party in Atlanta for coverings, and Mal was so shy, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Mauricio. I'm a Texas Tile Posse," and I'm like, "Hi, how are you?" And we just, and it's just the same thing with Joppe. I had never met Joppe before, but I saw him and I was like, "Felicidades, ¿cómo estás?" O sea, Eddie's from El Paso, my hometown, so I feel like there's always like that connection. I don't feel like, coverings is one of those places where you don't need to be shy because you basically already know everybody.
It's
We're gonna
funny
have
how
to take a road trip with the Joppe.
it's
The
funny how
what?
yours. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't hear you guys on that last part. What you say?
Go ahead,
Mal was
Mauricio. Sorry.
something.
No, I was just saying that it's funny how I was saying earlier, like be bold, be chatty, and then Angelica comes and
Yeah.
exposes me that I was all shy when I first met her. And I think overall though, like next year, I think we need to create a group chat so that way I know which booth is offering the free breakfast and the free lunch and stuff, because I think I paid like $20 for like a burger and fries
Oh no.
cafeteria. So
Yeah, next year it's in Orlando. So start booking your flights and your hotels.
Yeah, I saw that. I like Orlando though.
I love Orlando. It's always awesome. We always have the Texas Tile Posse always has a party at the Orlando Flyer. I don't know if you've been there. It's like 400 de esos columpios que parecen de feria en México, que te sientas y nomás hay así como un cinturón de metal y luego te mandan así 400 pies arriba en el aire. It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. And so,
Todo caliente el metal, te quema.
sí, por eso vamos en la noche. Y siempre tenemos fiesta ahí en el Orlando Flyer. Y es algo, o sea, llegan todos. It's the best time. So make sure to go to coverings and go to our Orlando Flyer party. It's the best. You meet everyone, the sponsors come out, vendors come out, and it's not like the show. It's just everyone's there to just have a drink and eat and be silly, and there's no pressure of who's who.
That's good. I'm gonna definitely be there at the Orlando one. I just saw the tickets come out, or the info come out on it for coverings.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna definitely head out there because I love going to Orlando.
Love Orlando.
So definitely, I appreciate you guys being on the show today. Thank you. Sorry we were having such bad technical difficulties in the beginning, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Next year we're gonna all take the tour with Eddie again. Hopefully they give it to Eddie again because he's tall and he's like, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, that will work. Or if it's someone else, just give them a little balloon and tie it to them. That way you can follow just a balloon around.
Yeah, there you go. But thank you for being here. And if anything, guys, if you want to check out anything with NTCA, go on their website. It's www.pal-assn.com. Ceramic Tile Education Foundation is www.ceramictilefoundation.org. In case you want to sign up for any of the stuff that they offer for any testing, education, get a book so you can start reading it up, test so you can test later. These are some of the websites to go on to get your information. So thank you guys and gals for being here. We're at the conclusion. I think we've already done a little bit more than an hour. So thank you for being here and being so great, speaking both languages with me, trying the new Spanglish thing, because I know sometimes we get stuck with some words in English or in Spanish that you might say, hey, you know what? Let me just Spanglish it over. But thank you.
Thanks for having us. And feliz cumpleaños otra vez.
Gracias. Cualquier cosa voy a estar pensando en ustedes. Thank you for being here and appreciate you being on the 200th episode of the Huddle en español. Gracias.
For having us,
Viva
man.
México. Feliz 5.
Gracias. Feliz 5 de Mayo. Thank you, everyone.
Bye,
Take care,
guys.
everybody.
Bye.